In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to create epics in ClickUp. We'll start from a fresh browser and finish with a clearly defined epic that includes tasks, tags, and priorities, so your team can move straight into execution with confidence. Begin by opening your browser and heading to your preferred search engine. Type ClickUp, then select the official ClickUp site from the results and sign into your workspace. Once you're in, you'll land on an overview or a space where you can see your existing work. That's perfect. We'll use this as our starting point to set up an epic in a clean, organized way. Before we click around, let's align on what an epic is. An epic is a large body of work that represents a major feature, objective, or initiative. It's too big to complete in a single sprint or as one task, so you break it down into manageable pieces like user stories or tasks. Keeping that definition in mind helps you decide what belongs inside the epic and what doesn't. Think of an epic as a container for value that's delivered through smaller, well-defined tasks. Now let's create the structure that will represent the epic. In ClickUp, the simplest way to make your epic visible and easy to manage is to create a dedicated space for it. Look for the plus icon to add a new space. Give it a clear, searchable name that follows a consistent convention. For example, you might use Epic User Authentication System. Consistency in naming makes it easier for teammates to scan the sidebar and immediately understand what they're looking at. Add a concise description so anyone opening the space understands the scope at a glance. You could write something like, "This epic covers the design, development, and deployment of a secure user authentication system. The goal is to enable user registration, login, logout, and account recovery." Keep the description high level, but specific enough to set boundaries. Then continue. Next, define the workflow for this space. Choose the standard project management workflow to get a sensible set of statuses out of the box. These typically include stages that work well for most delivery teams, and you can customize them later as your process matures. Go ahead and create the space to finish the setup. With the space created, navigate into it. From the overview, open your spaces and click into the one where you want to build your epic. If you already have a list for this initiative, open it. If not, create or select a list that will house the epic's tasks. For demonstration, you might be working inside a general area like sales or product. Either is fine as long as your epic has a clear home. It's time to outline the work. Click Add Task to create your first task. Write task titles that describe the outcome, not just the activity. Outcome-based titles make progress easier to measure and help everyone understand what done looks like. For example, users can register and sign in with email and password is more useful than build login form. Save the task, then open its details so we can enrich it. Here's a helpful approach used by many teams. Treat epics as tags that group related work. In other words, creating epics in this setup is essentially another way of creating and applying tags so you can filter and report easily. In the task details, add a tag named epic. If this is your first time, you'll be prompted to create it, confirm, and save. While you're there, add additional relevant tags that help you organize and find tasks quickly, such as authentication, backend, or security. The key is to be consistent. Consistent tagging keeps your lists clean and your filters powerful. Save your changes. Repeat the process to add more tasks that represent the major slices of work. Create a separate task for items like password encryption and validation implemented, or account recovery flow with secure token. Each time, keep titles outcome focused, save the task, open the details, and apply your tags, including the epic tag. As you build out this list, you're effectively sketching the roadmap for your epic in small, testable chunks that can be assigned, tracked, and delivered. Next, set priorities so stakeholders and teammates can immediately see what matters most. Open a task, locate the priority control, and set it to high for items that are critical to the epic's success. Priority creates a natural sequence, especially in sprint planning or when resources are limited. Use high for core, foundational work, and reserve. Urgent for time-sensitive blockers or issues that require immediate attention. Apply the appropriate priority to each key task so your board communicates importance at a glance. As you continue, you might add a few more tasks to complete the outline, each one saved, tagged with epic and any relevant context tags, and assigned a sensible priority. This rhythm is what turns a large, abstract initiative into a concrete, navigable plan your team can execute. Let's recap the flow you've just completed. You searched for ClickUp, signed in, and created a space that represents your epic with a clear name and a concise, high-level description. You selected a project management workflow to get practical statuses from the start, then opened the space and created a list to house your work. You added tasks that describe outcomes, saved them, and used tags, especially an epic tag, to group related work for easy filtering and reporting. Finally, you set priorities, marking the most critical items as high so the sequence and focus are unmistakable. With that, you now have a structured epic in ClickUp that's ready for execution.